What parents call safe training is exactly what gets kids hurt. Lightweight, same basic movement done forever. That's not safety, that's fear. Here's my rule. Everything is safe at any age as long as that athlete has had the proper exposure and not in a half-ass way. Safety is not the absence of risk. It's whether the exposure matches what the body can actually handle. That's the takeaway. Everything below is just that idea 4 different ways. Controlled exposure. Injuries happen, and most training injuries I see didn't come from hard work. They came from the athlete putting their body in a position it wasn't ready for. Simple example. We have the hinge wall tap. We're just teaching an athlete to hinge at the hip. And if they can't do that, we're not deadlifting. So loading a position you don't understand yet, there's the unsafe move. The deadlift in this is innocent. Now that idea shows up in how the athlete operates inside the room as well. Teaching safety in the training room is a non-negotiable. The basics, how to spot somebody, using barbells and any equipment the right way, how to bail out when a lift starts going the wrong way. Athletes need to be taught that as much as the lift itself if you want them to have any longevity. Now, nobody gets a peer-reviewed study backing this one. This one just takes years of watching what actually gets folks hurt in the gym. Breadth of exposure. An athlete who's only ever trained one way hasn't built a body that's ready for much else. That's as simple as I can put it. An athlete needs exposure to different movement patterns, different demands on their tissue, and different ways to produce force. The athlete's body doesn't have a way to safely absorb a new stimulus that it's never been prepared to receive before. This isn't just my opinion. The National Strength and Conditioning Association and the International Pediatric Sports Medicine Consensus say the same thing. Youth resistance training done well is safe and highly beneficial. That's the establishment position, not a fringe one. Foundation first, novelty second, not the other way around. Here's a conversation I have with every parent whose 14 or 15-year-old isn't elite yet. Right now, everything is foundational. Can they handle the basic compound movements? Do they have stability? Do they have any spring to it? One side at a time, both sides together. Until that's locked in, you're not actually training anything. You're just training their body to compensate, and that's not usually a good strategy. You're not training the muscle, the joint, the connective tissue. You're just going through controlled chaos. Once the foundation is secured, then we start layering in more specialized, more advanced work. Until then, our job is building an athlete who has the capacity to go on the field and express the coaching from their sports coach. Our job is to make the athletes more prepared for the practice and the playing field, not to directly make them better players in their sport. That's a sport-specific coach's job. Calibrated intensity and specialization. Don't hear this next part wrong. Intensity is not the villain. Training hard is not the problem. The problem is throwing intensity at a foundation that isn't ready for it yet. Here's the actual finding from the American Academy of Pediatrics. Youth athletes who train intensively, whether specialized or not, can also be at risk for adverse effects on the mind and body. Notice they didn't limit that to specialized athletes. Intensive training itself carries the risk. My take on the why is the same rule as everything else in this video. Intensity isn't dangerous on its own. Intensity without a foundation under it, that's where it is. Over-aggressive parents pushing a kid into a sport-specific training too early, chasing that edge, and burning the kid out instead. Knees, hips, ankles, feet, all of it. Baseball is the one sport where we actually have the numbers. A 10-year study tracked 481 youth pitchers, ages 9 to 10. 5% of them ended up with a serious injury, like elbow surgery, shoulder surgery, or just had to stop pitching entirely. Pitchers who threw more than 100 innings in a single year were 3.5 times more likely to get hurt. That's not a guess. That's a decade of tracked kids. Most coaches are excellent. Full stop. But there are always a few who go rogue with something they maybe saw online, they think they found a cheat code, and they start running unproven methods on kids instead of good old-fashioned proven ones. Don't play scientist with kids. Trial and error has its time and its place. Next time somebody tells you their program is safe because it's gentle, ask what they actually mean. Gentle is not a goal. Match the exposure to what the kid's body can actually handle. Build the foundation before you chase the novelty, and give the athlete the autonomy to find that next level. That's our role in this whole thing. Get the athlete ready, like really ready, for practice and the playing field. If you got a young athlete and you don't know how they build the foundation of their training, how they vary their movement, or how they run the training room, or how they even dose intensity, it might be worth asking that coach a few questions. Comment below on how your kid's training looks. Love to hear from you.